Hi, welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks so much. What you're about to watch is a very nice conversation with Mr. Leo Unemark, the frontman for this amazing heavy metal band Wings of Steel. This interview comes with some delays due to many unexpected setbacks, even the footage deemed lost, but I managed to recover it just so I can share with you. So if you like it, please don't forget to subscribe, follow on socials, you'll find the links in the description below. And without further ado, I'm Saro Lobue and this is All Metal. Right, hello guys, this is Saro here from All Metal. I happen to find somewhere in the middle of Europe, in Poland, some guys that I don't know, that look a little bit glam metal, a little bit heavy metal, a little bit power metal. Right, I'm here with Leo from Wings of Steel. How you doing, Leo?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty warm, but I think we're managing to stay hydrated, and we're all very excited for our first ever show in Poland.
Awesome, that sounds awesome. So welcome to Poland. I'm not from here, but Poland is pretty cool, man. It's like my second home, so it's pretty cool.
You've been here longer than me, so it's okay you welcome me, you know.
Absolutely, right. All right, guys, first things first. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the pretty boys in the room, right? Whose idea was to bring these Manowar level muscles and the Sebastian Bach level cheekbones, open shirts, open jackets, no shirt, into the band? Was this like a calculated move, or are just like naturally metal, this metal in beauty?
I don't really have like a great answer for it. I think we're all born and raised with what I like to think a pretty good taste in music, and I think in terms of style, that's always been part of it. If you look throughout 70s and the 80s, and I mean, sure, later as well, but it's always been about the music reflecting the look, reflecting the music, kind of. So I think it's one of those things where we dress like this. This is just kind of who we are. It's always how it's been. And for me personally, since you're interviewing me this time, when I grew up and I dressed like this in high school in Sweden, where in my high school, there was like no other metalheads or whatever. So like people would like throw looks and like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy. What's wrong with you and stuff like that. But it all worked out well in the end. You got to always stay true to what you believe in. You stay true to your style, just like you stay true to everything else here in life. So I think it came naturally for everyone, really.
Absolutely, that sounds great. Yeah, it's like, and you basically describe what most of us metalheads have lived since we're like young and we get hooked into heavy metal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, if you look at the roots of heavy metal, it was developed from some kind of hardship that brought people together under the banner of heavy metal. And I think when you go through stuff like that, it's really like music becomes a very uniting factor. And I think that's definitely been the case for me and for other people in this band too.
Yeah, awesome. So now back to business. Wings of Steel. The name alone, it screams black metal. Scream. Battle jackets and epic riffs. What's the story behind the band name? The band and its name. Was it born from a late night jam session, or maybe just a vision of, from the metal gods?
So me and Parker, we were trying to find a band name for God knows how long. It felt like years, We tried every play in the book. We tried, combining this color with this element, with this animal, with this thing. I could try and come up with a cool band name, and nothing worked out. So we kind of just like gave up on it, and we were writing a bunch of demos. This was back in 2021.
Right.
We wrote the song Wings of Steel. And a couple of days after writing that, we were kind of just out walking around and we were talking, and either me or Parker kind of went, you know what, Wings of Steel, that's pretty fucking good band name. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
It's all right. You can say whatever you want.
Right on. Fuck, no. So we were walking around, and one of us went, that's a pretty cool band name. And we kind of sat on it for a little bit, and then we looked online, and we couldn't really find a whole lot of competition around that name. So we figured, this is pretty much as heavy metal as you can make a band name sound. So that's kind of what ended up happening.
Well, definitely it is. It's pretty epic heavy metal name,
When we found it, we were like, someone must have taken this way back when, and it's, I think we found some band that was not active. They hadn't done stuff for like 20, 30 years, and they weren't using the name anymore. So someone had thought about it before, but not in the modern era.
And then you say it's free, take it. Yeah.
Fucking own it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So, talking about music, so you drop, you dropped the epic Winds of Time recently, just basically last month, June 2025. So it's nearly 11 minutes of pure metal odyssey. Do you guys just sit down and say, yeah, let's try a song longer than most of people's, gym routines and stuff like that? Or does did it evolve naturally?
I think it was a very natural process. It really was. This was when me and Parker got back together again in LA, and we were going to write this upcoming album. This was the second song that we wrote, and we didn't set out to write any type of length. We never do,
Right.
Came up with one part that flew very well into this part, which flowed very well into this part, and next thing you know, we got like a 9-10 minute song on our hands. We're like, oh, okay, well that's cool, and then adding the little glue to make it really flow,
Yeah.
and there you go. Wound up with around 11 minutes, which you wouldn't normally put out as a single in today's music industry.
Yeah.
Normally you get around, the 3-4 minute songs, but you think back to the greats and like fucking Iron Maiden, like Rime of the Ancient Mariner and stuff like that, and like why not? Why not do it? You should do what you want to do. That's the whole purpose of writing heavy metal, right? So there you go.
Exactly. So basically, now people are realizing that there are no rules. Well, not now. It's kind of like an old thing that some people wants to put rules like, oh, songs should be this length, or they should be written this way or that way. But at the end of the day, it's heavy metal, it's music, it's art, it's whatever flows, your boat, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, forget about genre specific. Even it's like music is a way of expressing yourself. And if you have a lot to say, then the song might be longer, And
Exactly.
if you don't, it might be shorter, and that's fine too. But it's not about the length of a song. It wasn't never supposed to be about the length of a song. It was supposed to be about what do you have to communicate, and then use the time that you require,
Exactly. Brilliant. Now, talking about you guys, you basically a band that have been formed since 2019, if I'm not wrong. You guys, as long as I'm aware, I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. You guys are basically free agents. You do everything yourself. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I guess we could say it started back in 2019, because that's when me and Parker, the lead guitar player, we got together and we started Wings of Steel. And we had minimal experience in terms of like the business and the industry and stuff, but I feel like we really learned a lot as we went along. We've heard all the stories. We know some people who have good insight. So we've been able to kind of tackle most of it ourselves.
Okay.
And of course, as you go along, it's not going to be smooth sailing, and there might be times where you do something that you're then going to learn from, and then you adjust to the next time. So I think it's very important when you go about stuff yourself that you're also very open to opinion and very open to learning stuff, but that you stay true to what your ultimate vision of the band is.
Okay.
Because sometimes, especially if you're in the young stages, you have a clear vision. If you put it all into the hands of another, that vision can very quickly deteriorate and become something else. So I think that's something I'm very proud about, that me and Parker, we've been able to stay true to our vision. But then, of course, doing everything yourself is also very, very exhausting in many ways. So you do need to work with people in order to progress in the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be exhausting. There's so many areas of the music industry, let's call it like that should be covered when you're a band. You need like logistics, you need merch, you need like a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah. And you're all those things, when you do that. And what you set out to do in the beginning was not to do the logistics or the social media or the bookings or any of that stuff, but something that is required in order to do the one thing that you really wanted to do, which is just to go out there and kick ass.
That's pretty good attitude. Yeah, that's the way it should be, man. Pretty heavy metal, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So you've been touring across Europe, basically, melting faces and turning heads. And any crazy road stories that, so far, fan tattoos or maybe any, I don't know, broken arms or spontaneous, mosh pits in, I don't know, whatever you want to say. Crazy stories that you have lived so far here in Europe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like specific incidents. I feel like when you're on the road and it's all very like hectic, everything kind of happens in a vacuum. And then when you have time after the tour, you go, oh shit, did that really happen? Or did I like dream that, So I think there's a lot of stuff that happens that you don't really think about when you're in the moment. But I think a really cool thing about this has been, you know, you go to territory that you've never been before. Poland is a great example. We've never played a show here before. And you go out to your first ever show, whether it's Poland or it's Italy or it's, you know, Finland coming up or whatever. And you get to meet people for the very first time, and they all have a story about how they found your band and what your band means to them. You get to meet them in person, and you get to rock out in places you've never seen in the world before. I mean, that's literally the childhood dream, to do something like that, you know. So I think that's maybe not the crazy tattoo, but it's, for me, that's the craziest story.
Yeah, it is. It is. And just as a fun fact, I don't know if you're aware, maybe you are. Do you know that people say that Poznan is the city where Poland was born, isn't it? Do you know that?
Well, I'm very happy to be here then, yeah.
And there you go. So heavy metal in the city that Poland was born.
It's funny, and I will say too, I've actually visited Poznan once before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
Awesome.
It was like a student exchange program.
Okay.
I wasn't exactly sure where I was in Poznan, but we were on like the countryside, and we were like shooting paintball and
Awesome.
and doing all these crazy things that Poles like to do.
Just crazy things, but you know.
In a good way.
In a good way, exactly. Yeah, you got it. You got my words. Right. Plans for the future. What are we expecting in the near long-term future from Wings of Steel?
Yeah, so actually we're set to put out a new album in October of this year.
Okay.
Very excited for it. Like you mentioned, we put out a new single, Winds of Time, just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And in the very near future, on July 25th, you might hear it here first. We're putting out the second single from the album.
That's awesome.
And we're very excited for it. We've been recording music videos. We've been getting a lot of cool things done. We actually just recorded the music video here in Poland.
Awesome.
I'm gonna leave it at that because we're not quite there yet. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so the single's coming up and the album. Very excited about that.
Good to know this little advance of the information, you know, and hopefully, but silence. You hear it here first, you know, in all metal, and hopefully we will, as soon as it comes out, we will know about it, and we will just release it and let you guys know. Right. So, you got final words just to let you go, because you are the show about, you know, you go about to go on stage and play. So your final words, you know, what are you? Whatever you want to share to the public. I don't know if you're aware, this is going to go globally, obviously, because it's in English and it's online. But the main target audience is Latin America and Spanish-speaking countries. So maybe whatever you want to say to them specifically or overall.
Well, we want to come and play as soon as we possibly can, right? You mentioned, since you speak Spanish, right? We're actually going to Spain to play.
Oh, really?
We're coming to a show in Madrid in September, so do keep an eye out for that. But other than that, really, you know, thank you for this interview. Right now, we're really stoked to be in this part of the world, and we're gonna do our best we can here. But we also hope to, of course, make it around the globe as soon as we can and spread the word of Wings of Steel. But thank you for your time, and to everyone out there, keep kicking ass, keep it real, stay true. Peace, love, and heavy metal.
Yeah, no, and thank you for your time, Leo. Really appreciate it. And you guys, you hear it here first, you know, keep on and all metal.